Sorry, y'all. Still just getting a couple of things sorted. Okay, everything looks good there. So, I kind of got my ass beat when I tried Taddy's Dark Side list yesterday. I figured I would want to try something that's a little more my speed, something that a simpler mind could understand. So I am going back to Nightlight. It still's got the Blood Moons in it, but now I don't need to worry about Hushbringer, and I've got the consistency tools that I really love, the Mishra's Baubles and the Profane Tutors. And I kind of figured, you know, why not throw Lightning Bolt in the list? I've been looking for a 1-mana removal spell that'll hit creatures and planeswalkers, and Lightning Bolt just kind of does that, you know? It just hits everything. Well, it doesn't hit everything, but it does hit creatures and planeswalkers. At least creatures and planeswalkers that have sufficiently low toughness or loyalty. So I'm going to throw a Lightning Bolt in, or 2 of them actually, and see how that goes. Sideboard is more of my flavor of Lantern. So we've got the 2 Duresses, we've got the Pithing Needle in the sideboard, I've got some additional board wipes in here, and of course the additional Magus of the Moons, which I think might be useful. Shout out to Mike Devo for sponsoring this league. He has made some Lantern content in the past. He does more meta decks these days as his channel has grown and he's gotten more people interested. But he still makes some really good stuff. I'm going to leave a link to his channel in the description of the video. Thank you, Mike, for shouting out the channel. Thank you for sponsoring this video. And yeah, I will go ahead and just get started with some good old-fashioned Blood Moon Lantern. I will be right back. I'll just redo that. Okay, thanks for your patience, everybody. I am on the play in match 1 versus Giovanni. This hand has the basic mountain in it, unfortunately. It's got ensnaring bridge, but it doesn't really have a lock, just kind of a smattering of pieces. I think I'm gonna mulligan this. Like, if I had a basic swamp off the top, or even a fetch land or something, like, I would probably keep that, but I can't guarantee that. And we are already on a mold of 5. This is not looking good. Okay, this is a hand I can keep. So I am going to bottom the Blackleaf Cliffs and an Inquisition here. I could just actually bottom the Mishra's Bauble and Inquisition, and I think I will just do that. Just guarantee the third land drop. All right. Let's hope that this plan works. Grist, Walking Ballista, Seiju, Overgrown Tomb, Spymaster's Vault, and a Verdant Catacombs to fetch. My plan is to Blood Moon them on turn 3. If I'm going to be doing that, then I want to be able to actually have that plan go through. But it might not work because they have Beseiju. So I am going to take Grist because that's the card that can do the most just on its own. And hopefully I'll be able to bait them into a turn 2 Walking Ballista. Maybe Verdant Catacombs will grab a Surveil Land. All right, Blackleaf Cliffs. That's not the best draw, but that's okay. Who am I kidding? They're very likely to be just jamming a Beseiju here. Don't think they're going to be doing a 1/1 Walking Ballista, you know? They're doing a 1/1 Walking Ballista. Yeah, I'll take that. Okay, and now I have Mishra's Bauble, which I'm not really going to use the Bauble trick here because I just want the basic Swamp. All right, get Blood Mooned. And this shuts off the Beseiju in their hand as well. Now they don't have a green source. Wow, those Surveil Lands are real nice for Blood Moon, I think. Overgrown Tomb is down, and they have Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Jeez. That was a really good rip, not gonna lie. So now Walking Ballista just starts to can become a Grist on its own. Okay, this is not looking great. Well, there's an Ensnaring Bridge in case I need it. I don't think I'm going to be playing out the Ensnaring Bridge. I think that my constructs will eventually just overpower this. They're going to make their Walking Ballista into a 3/3. Oh no, they're going to make their Insect Token into a Grist. Okay, that's fine. Not gonna lie, they are going pretty wide here. But I don't think they can attack unless they want to put a counter on Walking Ballista. Yeah, they see that line. This one also has the Walking Ballista text on it. So I'm just not going to block here. I'm gonna fall to 13. I think that's okay. Go ahead and see what's on top of their deck. I want to cycle. Dredger's Insight. That's something that they can't cast anyway. They could sacrifice their Insect Token here to kill this construct. Inquisition of Kozilek is my rip, and then Pithing Needle is the rip after that. All right, that's pretty good. I think I need to drop Pithing Needle right now. And I will actually do that. Now, do I name Agatha's Soul Cauldron in an attempt to shut down this engine that they've got going on? Or do I name Walking Ballista No, I don't think I name Walking Ballista. I think I'm going to name Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Just to stop them from, you know, making more Grist copies. And I don't believe I'm going to be attacking here. I think I just need to block. They're putting a +1 counter on Walking Ballista. I think I am going to outmuscle this. I just need them to not draw basic forest. You may sacrifice a creature. When you do, destroy target creature or planeswalker. I think that's a pretty good move from them. I will create the construct in response. Yeah, I think I'm still going to hold back. I don't think I'm blocking. I have this ensnaring bridge that I can use in an emergency. They're going to go ahead and pump up one of the insects. I'm falling to 7 here. Pyxis of Pandemonium is actually a really good hit because that makes my stuff bigger. Now, this insect has 3 loyalty. Do I think I'm going to... No, it has 2 loyalty, but it has 3 power. Do I think I'm going to die here? I'm not sure. No, I think I'm going to die here. Yeah, I think I'm going to die here. Wow, because they can start removing counters to deal damage to me. Yeah, Walking Ballista and Agatha's Soul Cauldron on their own was enough to combo this. And that Pithing Needle just came a little bit too late, I think. Because I am effectively just at 2 right now. I'm going to Inquisition them, and I'm going to get a little bit of information on what they're doing. Dredger's Insight, Young Wolf, Beseiju who endorsed Yawgmoth. Yeah, I'm going to concede the game. Jeez, that was not fantastic. Like, I did the thing that I wanted to do. But it just wasn't good enough. Dang, that sucks. If they hadn't ripped Agatha's Soul Cauldron, or if the Pithing Needle had come a little bit earlier, maybe that would have been a little different. I think I did the best that I could do. It just wasn't good enough. Let's go ahead and start sideboarding here. So against this deck, the Juke is up with Blood Moon. I don't think I'm going to be using that. Instead, Curse Totem comes in. And Pithing Needle comes in, for sure. Lightning Bolts are still pretty good. They don't hit Yawgmoth, but I think that's okay. I'm going to keep the Grafdigger's Cage in the deck. Am I keeping an Underworld Cookbook? What would I be bringing in? Molten Collapse? Pyroclasm? I don't think I'm going to overboard. I think I'm just going to keep it like this. Oh lord, it looks like my hand thing is broken. Hang on a second. Oh, wait, no, it's not broken. Okay, that was weird. I would like to play first. And now we've got a really interesting hand. I think I'm going to keep this. And I'm going to play Verdant Catacombs into Basic Swamp into Inquisition. And the next turn I can Profane Tutor if I need to. I can also follow up with the Thoughtseize into Pithing Needle if that's what I think is most appropriate. Profane Tutor just being able to grab a Ensnaring Bridge and make me happy seems decent. Let's see if that's actually good or not, though. All right, let's go ahead and Inquisition you. Double Walking Ballista, huh? I'm going to take a look at this card here. When it deals combat damage to a player, put a neg1 counter on a creature. When I put one or more neg1 counters on a creature, create a green snake with Death Touch. That is definitely a combo piece. That's going to trigger a lot. But I think out of this hand, I want to take the Green Sun Zenith. If I had a Grafdigger's Cage somewhere, or had hope of finding a Grafdigger's Cage before turn 4, then I probably would not have taken that. I probably would have taken the Hapatra. Ripped a Delighted Halfling. That's really good for them. I think I can afford to take a turn off. Yeah, I'm going to take a turn off here. And I'm going to fetch a basic mountain. And I am going to just suspend Profane Tutor. That Force of Vigor will eventually become a problem. The Walking Ballistas are eventually going to be a problem. Ripping a Young Wolf. That is a Patra. And they have a Force of Vigor in hand. I can Thoughtseize that if I need to. Ooh, Urza Saga was a really good hit. Let's not expose that to Force of Vigor, even though they don't even have a green card to pair with it. Still good habits. Good habits, I suppose. All right, Lantern of Insight. Riot Arbor is their rip on the top. And now we're just in a position where I can just grab Ensnaring Bridge next turn and be more or less okay. The question is, do I want this Pithing Needle? I'm going to wait to see what they've got here. Badgermole Cub. That's fantastic. All right, Walking Ballista. They literally just paid 2 mana for a 1/1. I think I'm not going to be... Oh, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good interaction. I like that. I think I'm not going to be worrying about Badgermole Cub, but I'm also just going to grab Ensnaring Bridge. I'm not going to put additional cards in my hand here. Yeah, they're fully on a beatdown plan right now. Profane Tutor, save me right on time. Grab that Ensnaring Bridge. Desperately need you. Thank you so much, Ensnaring Bridge. Fantastic. And now they've got a dead draw on top of their deck. Badgermole Cub. They are going to Earthbend 1. So their Overgrown Tomb is now a 1/1 creature. And they're going to be swinging in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Walking Ballista is Pithing Needled. I don't know. I think I've got this. Oh, I would have really loved that Pyxis. Oh well. I'll just go ahead and fetch it out of the deck. Mishra's Bauble is on top of my deck. That's fantastic. Go ahead and play another Lantern. And then Pithing Needle. I need to decide what I am most afraid of with Pithing Needle. I think it might be Grist. Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Oh, wait, no. If I name Agatha's Soul Cauldron now, then there can never be any cards exiled underneath of it. Which means that it would never grant abilities to creatures. Grist might be a problem. They can Green Sun Zenith for Grist. I'm sure they can Green Sun Zenith for like an Outland Liberator or something though, so Green Sun Zenith is still like a kill on sight card. I'm gonna put Pithing Needle down. It's kind of just like a 4, it's just kind of random at this point, I think. Pithing Needle, I'm going to name... Suppose I'll name Agatha's Soul Cauldron. No. I'm gonna name Grist. No, I'm gonna name Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Pretty sure that's a 4 of. Grist might not be a 4 of. Verdant Catacombs. Hey, that's fantastic. So I can leave that on top of their deck pretty safely. Hoping that there's not a Ensnaring Bridge on top of my deck here. Basic Swamp, I'll take it. Love that. Okay, and we've got a little bit of stability here. Not very much. I'd love at least one more Mill Rock. Hey, shuffled an Agatha's Soul Cauldron to the top of the deck again. That's nice. Okay, Windswept Heath is their draw for turn. They played it as land. They're doing something. Oh, they're just casting a really big Walking Ballista. Okay, I don't really care about that. Here, I don't think I'm going to be popping Mishra's Bauble. Ooh, Fomori Vault. Yeah, man. Let's go ahead and draw that. Next turn. With any luck. But with triple Lantern in play, like, I've got a decent chunk of stuff that a decent chunk of material that I can sacrifice to make them shuffle. I don't think I want them having Dredger's Insight. Artifact, creature, or land. Yeah, go ahead and shuffle that, please. Go ahead and shuffle that. Walking Ballista, you got it. X equals 4. I don't really care about that. A Delighted Halfling is fine. I like where everyone's top card is. Now I just get to drop this from Fomori Vault. How cool is that? But am I even going to get rid of the Urza Saga? I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to draw it. Yeah, Delighted Halfling is fine. Well, now I'm not going to draw Urza Saga because I'm going to be exiling the top card of everyone's deck with Pyxis. So let's go ahead and do that. Basic Forest for you. Bloodstained Mire for me, huh? I am going to play that as a land. Just investing a little more in this Fomori Vault because I want to be able to start drawing cards and then, or like using Fomori Vault and then casting what I get off of it. Okay, Pyxis, I'm going to activate that, get rid of that Dredger's Insight. Outland Liberator, huh? Yeah, that cannot stay on top of your deck, friend. Gonna grab my Surveil land. Yep. I will keep that on top of my deck. Thank you. Love that Codex Shredder. They don't have anything that can interact with cards in their graveyard right now, so I am just going to mill that. Actually, yeah, no, I'm going to mill it, because if they do have something later that can interact with stuff in their graveyard, then I want to worry about that later. And we're chilling. We're in really good, a really good position here. All right. And now, on turn 11, finally activating Fomori Vault. Gonna look at the top, like, 7 or something. I'll take a Mox Opal. Didn't find a Mill Rock, that's unfortunate. Agatha's Soul Cauldron is Pithing Needle, just confirming that. All right, that's very good. I have no way to draw cards. And I am going to exile with Pyxis here. I am a little bit behind on Library. I think that's okay, because I have a Codex Shredder now. Don't really want this Lightning Bolt. I'm gonna go ahead and discard it. Find a Pyxis. Cast a Pyxis. This is why I got that 5th land. And I am going to just mill that Yawgmoth. Grist the Hunger Tide, huh? I don't want them having that. Well, I could draw Pithing Needle and just solve this problem. I think I'm going to draw the Pithing Needle. I'm going to let them have Grist. Yeah, they're just going to mill their own Yawgmoth. All right, I'm pretty happy that I did that, I think. I can't use my Pyxides right now. I'm going to draw Pithing Needle and then another card that I hopefully can spin into a Mill Rock here. Or I can just draw the Mill Rock directly. I'll take that. And Pithing Needle number 3 is going to answer Grist the Hunger Tide. And we are still in fantastic shape. Let's clip that Dredger's Insight while we can. Exile that Force of Vigor. Exile that Spymaster's Vault. I'm going to take the Pyxis. If I had more Mill Rock activations at that end step, then I probably would have just gotten rid of Pyxis. But since I already was mostly burned out of my lock at that point, I just went ahead and took it. It's honestly really therapeutic just sitting here clicking these cards. You get rid of a card, you get rid of a card, we both get rid of a card. Just becomes kind of second nature after a certain point, you know? Meditative, even. I have all 6 of my Mill Rocks in play. I get an achievement for that, right? I am going to just start ending the game here. And I believe they only get one more draw here. Yeah, they only get one more draw. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm just not worried about. And for those of you watching this on video, this actually takes a decent chunk of time to do, but it's why my videos have background music. So sometimes I just like to chill and listen and do nothing. Just like that. Beautiful lantern control game. See if we can get something like that sorted in game 3. Could bring in pyroclasms. If I'm bringing in pyroclasms, then what would I be cutting? I could cut lightning bolt. Cut 2 lightning bolt, bring in 2 pyroclasm. But what would I cut after that? I could cut cookbook, but I feel like there might be some situations where I would be bleeding out and I would want the cookbooks in. I'm gonna be on the draw. Maybe pyroclasm. Actually, pyroclasm might be better on the draw. Yeah, I'm gonna side out the 2 lightning bolts. And I'm gonna bring in 2 pyroclasms. I'm gonna see if that's any good. Well, actually, lightning bolt could kill a grist, but only if they minus it at any point. Yeah, that's not gonna be that good. I'm just gonna try pyroclasm here. They don't have that much stuff that has like exactly 3 toughness. They have a bunch of stuff that's 2 toughness or 4 toughness, which if it's 4 toughness, Bolt couldn't handle it anyway. So Bolt can't kill Yawgmoth, for example. This is just an instant mulligan, no lands. If I had a land or 2, probably 1 land might be good enough to keep this with the Bauble and Pyxis. Okay, and this one centers around Curse Totem. I have a lot of stuff here. I really wish I could keep this on 7. I might have to get rid of the Codex Shredder, unfortunately. I need the 3 lands. I kind of want to lead on Pithing Needle. Probably blind name like a Beseju or something like that. Ooh, and I drew 2nd Pithing Needle. That's really attractive. Yeah, basic swamp into Pithing Needle. I'm gonna name Beseju. Adramol Cub, huh? Curse Totem's gonna be really nice. That just shut them off of a lot of stuff. They chose to put Agatha's Soul Cauldron in hand. I think I'm just going to do Curse Totem here. I think I'm not going to worry about it too much. Yeah, this dies to Force of Vigor, but I just can't worry about that. All right, you've got one land. Do you have a second land in hand somewhere? Or were you counting on Badgermole Cub to get you out of this? Oh, we've got a pass and a swing in. Yeah, they pass turn. They only have basic forest. Curse Totem shutting off the creature here was really strong. And then this Pyroclasm's just going to clean up their board. I can grab a Mox Opal off of the Urza Saga. Dang. Absolutely brutal. And there's the Beseiju. I did Pithing Needle that. But Curse Totem shuts off Agatha's Soul Cauldron as well. Are they going to swing in? Swinging in with Badgermole Cub alone, huh? I'm just going to create my creature. And I don't know what they could do here. Oh, they could put a +1 counter on the Badgermole Cub. Yeah, I'm not going to take that bait. I'm not taking that bait. Urza Saga was a fantastic draw. Let's go ahead and make another construct. I am going to find... Honestly, I think Mox Opal. I am then going to play my Urza Saga. And I'm going to Pyroclasm. Am I going to Pyroclasm? Yeah, I'm going to Pyroclasm now. Just mop up their board. There we go. They do get the land, but at least they don't have any blockers. Badgermole Cub can become a 4/4. They drew something interesting. They drew a Grist. They are just going to be plussing Grist here. I think I'm going to Pithing Needle that. Badgermole Cub is not attacking in. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with Inquisition right here. I think I'm just going to continue to push my advantage. I'm going to use the Mox Opal. They're making their Badgermole Cub bigger. I think that's fine. Yeah, I'm just going to Pithing Needle that. And I believe I am going to make a lethal attack here. Attack with everything at your face. If they don't block, they die. All right, that's fantastic. They chose to block, so they stay alive for just a little longer. They're going to fall to 7 here. I have a blocker for this Badgermole Cub that can get bigger. That is just bigger than anything it can do, really. That's a young wolf. That's a good blocker. And that is an Outland Liberator. Unfortunately, it is turned off. Oh, that Agatha's Soul Cauldron has been out of their hand for a long time. I'm sorry. All right, so what am I going to do here? I think I'm just going to make another construct, honestly. I'm going to do it with the Mox Opal. Now I have an ability from this Urza Saga that lets me fetch something from my deck. What do I grab, though? The graveyard doesn't have any creatures in it. I could just grab Lantern, play... I could grab Pyxis, play Lantern, and then insulate myself against a Force of Vigor drawn off the top of their deck. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I think that if they had Force of Vigor, they would have used it by now. That is a Walking Ballista. I mean, you have to block with everything or else you just die, right? And they certainly are blocking with everything. Young Wolf will come back. I could have grabbed Grafdigger's Cage to prevent this. I just don't think that that is really that important right now. And even if they have like a Force of Vigor or something, there's just still like this entire everything that they need to deal with. They're going to try and make Young Wolf as big as they can, it looks like. I'm not really worried about that. Walking Ballista is shut off because of Curse Totem. Curse Totem, MVP in this game, by the way. That's a Dredger's Insight. They're going to continue to dig here. I'm just going to let it happen. They found a Spymaster's Vault. So they could play Walking Ballista here. I wonder what the last card in hand is and if they have the resources necessary to like do something really cool here. I'm just not convinced that they have outs. And they don't have outs. They wrapped it up to double Urza Saga backed by Curse Totem and a ton of Pithing Needles. That was a really fun game. I really enjoyed playing that. Okay, let's move on to match 2. See if we can kind of continue this streak. I am on the play in match 2 versus 𝗟𝗓𝗡. This hand is literally just 6 lands and a Lantern. I can't keep that. This hand is not literally just 6 lands and a Lantern. I'm going to keep this and I'm going to bottom the Mishra's Bauble. I think I'm going to lead on basic Mountain. Hope to bolt something. They're gonna go grab Thoughtseize, aren't they? Oh, it's Sacred Foundry. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna bolt that. Bloodstained Mire, huh? I'm gonna play Lantern here and use Bloodstained Mire to inform what I'm doing. That is a Pyxis. I kind of want that. I'm gonna put this into play tapped and pass. Not having Ensnaring Bridge or any discard against Boros Energy really sucks, though. Not that one. There we go. Please don't grab Basic Planes. Please don't grab Basic Planes. Yeah, man. Alright, they got an Ajani Nakata Pariah, which is not fantastic. And this Ragavan can start making treasures. I am at a crossroads here. Oh, I shouldn't have played the Bloodstained Mire because I wasn't sure what I was going to do. So, I can play Pyxis, attempt to dig myself into something. Still haven't checked their hand. So I could play Pyxis here. I could attempt to dig myself into an Ensnaring Bridge. Or I could jam Blood Moon. If I jam Blood Moon, then that means that Ragavan can make treasures for them. I think I gotta jam Blood Moon. Because I have Arid Mesa in hand, and that can just... ooh, Urza Saga. Not really good timing, unfortunately. I think I'm still jamming Blood Moon. I can't wait 2 turns for that Urza Saga. And they have Basic Planes on top of their deck. Well, at least they don't have any white sources right this second, but they are going to have white sources here very soon. Come on, mate. Dig me into an Ensnaring Bridge. You know you want to. Urza Saga is down. They are discharging their own cat. Ajani's going to flip. And I am quickly running out of time here. I'm going to take 2. Do I even want this Thoughtseize? Like, I don't think I do, but I kind of just am priced into taking it. Let's go ahead and Thoughtseize you. They have their own Blood Moon in hand. That is hilarious. Well, that's what happens when you have Blood Moons in versus energy, I suppose. So I am going to be taking the Seasoned Pyromancer out of this hand. And I'm going to drop Pyxis, and I'm going to cry, mostly. Now, this Ajani's just going to solo the game from here, unfortunately. I don't think that there is a single draw that gets me out of this position. Ragavan is dashing in. Yeah, because even if I answer the Ajani, then, like, if I draw a Pithing Needle exactly or something like that, then I just am dead on board. Because I'm going to be falling to 3 after this Ajani happens. Yep. I will still take a draw. Just see what I can do. But there is no point to playing this game anymore. Yeah, you know what? Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to give my opponent more information. They won the game. Very cleanly won the game. So, Blood Moon is actually pretty terrible against this deck. So, I will be siding out all of them. Goodbye, Blood Moon. And I'm bringing in my Pyroclasms. Graph Digger's Cage is pretty terrible against them. I will instead bring in Molten Collapse, I think. Do I want to bring in Molten Collapse, though? Like, I could bring in an additional Pithing Needle. Goblin Bombardment, a Johnny. I could keep in Grafdigger's Cage and bring in Pithing Needle and not bother with the Molten Collapses. Because Molten Collapse is just so expensive against them. Like, you're spending 2 mana to answer a 1-drop that's already made value. Lightning Bolt looked pretty good there, though. Not gonna lie, I liked Lightning Bolt. I would like to be on the play. Wow! I could choose to keep this, and I'm going to choose to keep this. I will play Mountain into Lantern. Arena of Glory from the hero, at least on top of their deck. And they are just doing Arid Mesa pass. Do I want this Mishra's Bauble or no? Not particularly. I think I'm going to fetch a basic Swamp here. And I will simply suspend Profane Tutor. Yeah, Inquisition of Kozilek was a much better pickup. Basic Plains, you better keep it. You're gonna get Blood Mooned. I definitely didn't just sideboard. Aw, dang it. Alright, what is this nonsense? The Legend of Roku. Exile the top 3 cards of your deck. So it's just a draw 3. And then it just turns into a creature that makes more creatures. So it's a draw 3. That's the fear with that sort of card. The hero just blatantly refusing to play out their Arena of Glory here. I am going to simply draw this Inquisition of Kozilek. Yeah, I'm going to shock this in, and I'm just going to cast Ensnaring Bridge. Guide of Souls is going to come down. Arena of Glory is finally coming down. And that is a Spyro that they've played. They're going to draw into Windswept Heath and Ocelot Pride. Discarding an Arena of Glory, another one, and a Flage, which that's kind of scary. Ensnaring Bridge does a decent job of stopping Flage, but still. Now I need to skill shot this Profane Tutor. The Legend of Roku, Guide of Souls, Windswept Heath, Ocelot Pride. The Legend of Roku is probably the scariest thing in their hand right now. So I have a number of options. I could grab a Thoughtseize and take the Legend of Roku. I could grab a Pithing Needle and attempt to answer Goblin Bombardment. I could grab an Underworld Cookbook and attempt to raise by life gaining and then pyroclasing their stuff. I could grab a Mill Rock of some sort. Probably a Pyxis. Hope to dig myself into an answer to Goblin Bombardment. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to grab a Mill Rock here. Basic Swamp is the pickup. Lightning Bolt is decent. Lightning Bolt answers Ajani. But not this turn. I think whatever I do starts with Inquisition here. They have a Thraben Charm. Do I care about Thraben Charm? Not particularly. I think I'm mostly worried about this Ajani on top of their deck. If that's the case, then I would want to play Pyxis to answer the Ajani. And then Pyroclasm could clean up Ocelot Pride, Guide of Souls. I do want to break this up somehow. I think I'm going to take the Guide of Souls because it can increase toughnesses of creatures. And then I'm going to wait for them to play out Ocelot Pride, and then I'm going to wipe their board. Well, I don't know if I should do that. I don't know if I should do that. Ocelot Pride only triggers when they gain life. I could play Pyxis Pyroclasm. That doesn't really... That's not very effective. I don't want them having this Ajani. I think I need to play out the Pyxis. And then I need to take Ajani. And even though it's not mana efficient, I'm going to hold Pyroclasm until later. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of Ajani here. That is a Goblin Bombardment. That's mostly a dead draw. They're swinging in for 3 here. I'm going to fall to 14. Windswept Heath. I think they're just going to throw down the Legend of Roku here. Yeah, it looks like that's what they're doing. Alright, that's gonna have to be fine. They exiled Goblin Bombardment, Ocelot Pride, Elegant Parlor. That's pretty good for me, I think. Legend of Roku is down. Now what? I think I'm going to Inquisition them and take the Goblin the Ocelot Pride. And then I am simply going to land Ensnaring Bridge number 2. Marsh Flats. I need an answer to this Goblin Bombardment, and I need it fast. It needs to be a Pithing Needle. I think here they're just escaping Flage. I think that's fine. So this is going to do 4 to me, effectively. Right, they had the Ocelot Pride. I forgot about that. And they gained life this turn, so they're going to make a crap ton of tokens. And I'm actually dead on board right now. So I need to hit Pithing Needle off the top right this second. Because they can sacrifice their whole board to Goblin Bombardment and then escape Flage next turn. Yeah, I need to hit Pithing Needle right now. That's an Urza Saga. Oh, Mana Tithe in your Ocelot Pride Guide of Souls deck. Dude, that's disgusting. Ooh. Told you that that was legal. That's just so gross. Countering things on curve. Okay, well, let's make them see it. Yeah, they see it. Okay, I'm just going to concede here. I'm not going to make them play it out. Oh, that sucks. Goblin Bombardment just kind of ran away with that game, unfortunately. I feel like I had some decent choices. I chose to grab Pyxis instead of grabbing the Pithing Needle for Goblin Bombardment, thinking that I would have a little bit of time and would be able to mill myself into a Pithing Needle. It just didn't happen. That being said, if I had grabbed Pithing Needle for Goblin Bombardment, then I would not have been able to answer the Ajani that was on top of their deck. And they would have been able to Thraben Charm it. Although maybe discard would have changed my mind about that. Like I could have discarded the Thraben Charm and kept them off of killing their own cats while I figured out an answer for Ajani. So that could have been an alternate line that I could have taken this game. I chose not to do that and I lost. I don't know if the other line would have won, but I guess we'll never know. I'm going to move on to match 3 here. We've started match 3 versus Dad Matt. Matt Dad. Dad Matt. Matt Dad. This is a really interesting hand. This is turn 1. Mishra's Bauble. Choose what land I want to play, I suppose. Although if I play the Raucous Theater, then I might want to get rid of the card anyway. I just don't know the best play practices for a hand like this. I mean, I'm keeping it, right? Like, it's just got Blood Moon paired with Discard paired with Ensnaring Bridge. Like, that could lock out a decent chunk of decks. Yep, it'll lock that out. Okay, well, I know that I don't need to fire off this Thoughtseize on turn 1. So I actually think I will lead on Raucous Theater here. And I want that. I'm not going to give them the information of Mishra's Bauble. Ragavan, Nimble Pilferer. That's unfortunate. That's going to break them out of Blood Moon. Okay, Marsh Flats as my land. Let's go ahead and Inquisition them. Plage Titan of Fire's Fury is my only pick for that Inquisition. And I'm not actually convinced that I want to be firing off this Thoughtseize. If they find basic, or not basic, if they find like a Stubborn Denial, I don't want them to be thinking that... Oh wait, no, if they find Stubborn Denial, they can cast it anyway. Yeah, because the Ragavan will make a treasure. So yeah, I'm just going to take the Cyanide Draco. Slow down their progress. They are just going to hit me with Ragavan here. They're surveilling. They put the card on top. I think I'm going to... Oh, Inquisition's really good. I don't think I have the time to fire that off right now, though. Go ahead and Bloodstained Mire, fetch for another basic swamp here. And I think I'm going to Blood Moon them to try and turn off Leyline Binding. It's not going to turn off Leyline Binding all the way, but it will slow them down a little bit. Possible that maybe I should have played Ensnaring Bridge there, huh? All right, Ragavan's going to connect. I'm at 12 already. That's kind of crazy. Wandering Falls is down. So they have Wooded Foothills, Arid Mesa, and an Unknown that they surveil to top. Would love a land. I didn't find it. Just gonna go ahead and slam Ensnaring Bridge number 1. That worked. That's great. I could have baited with the Mishra's Bauble to check to see if they were F6. I just didn't think of that. They're continuing to play lands that I didn't know about. What cards have they exiled? Blood Moon, Urza Saga, Thoughtseize? You want to Thoughtseize me? Take my second Ensnaring Bridge? That would probably be fine. Yeah, here they go. They're Thoughtseizing me. All right, they took my ensnaring bridge. I think I need to pop Mishra's Bauble here to get a little bit of velocity. Even if I draw, like, land, then I could still play a land and play Inquisition. It would only hurt if I drew, like, exactly a 3-drop or, like, another 3-drop or something like that. Although I could still Inquisition myself if I needed to. I'm kind of tired of taking damage off this Ragavan, you know? The hero's thinking long and hard about what their next choice is going to be. And they've got nothing. Gonna see what's on top of their deck. It's yet another land. Another Blood Moon. Blood Crypt. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and play that. I will Inquisition them now. Leyline Binding. Oh, that's not good. It's really not good. And that's just probably pretty damn close to game. Because Leyline Binding can just be hardcast right now. Like, they can hardcast it for basically 4, I think. They don't even have to use their treasures to do it. Oh, right. Also, the basic plains is every land type. Right, forgot about that. Okay, whose draws their out first? This hit with Ragavan means that I can't survive Flage being escaped 3 times. Pithing Needle. That's funny. Oh man, maybe I should have dropped my Ensnaring Bridges earlier instead of the Blood Moon, huh? Does Pithing Needle even hit anything? I think I'm just gonna get it out of my hand. Yeah, I don't think it hits anything at all. So I did a decent job of slowing my opponent down, but they just kind of drew the Leyline Binding while I had no lock going on. That was one of the dangers of the hand that I kept. And now I cannot survive Flage being escaped twice. Inquisition of Kozilek is not gonna cut it. I think I'm going to save that. In case they have a Stubborn Denial or something. Oh, that is a Doorkeeper Thrall. Now I can't afford Flage being escaped once. Here we go. Oh, they even hit an Ensnaring Bridge. Aw, that sucks. They hit that a couple of turns ago. They've dropped a Fable of the Mirror Breaker and are passing back to me. And I got nothing. All right, well, they had the Leyline Binding, and it was good enough. I could have played out Ensnaring Bridge instead of Blood Moon. That actually might have helped, but I chose not to, and I got punished for it. Duresses are coming in. Grafdigger's Cage, I think, is coming out. I think bolts are also coming out. Pithing Needles can come out as well. Siding out a lot of stuff. What do I want to side in, huh? Molten Collapse? Their stuff's just kind of too big for Lightning Bolt to hit, but Molten Collapse can hit anything. I don't really have a very good sideboard mapping for this matchup, do I? The bare minimum, Lightning Bolt can hit a Ragavan on the play. But it can't hit a Territorial Kavu. It could hit a Doorkeeper Thrall. All right, I'll keep Lightning Bolts in, and I guess I'll bring in one Molten Collapse. I don't know how I feel about this though. This feels like the sideboard mapping for this particular matchup is not very strong. Like normally, I think that this is a relatively easy matchup. Until you draw hands like this. Yeah, that's not going to work. Geez, do I really want to keep this? Do I really want to keep this? This Raucous Theater would have to do so much work. I think I gotta keep it. I think I gotta keep it, and I just need to hope that this Raucous Theater hits. Don't bottom it, though. Oh, jeez. I'm going to bottom... one of the discard spells. I'm gonna bottom... Inquisition, I guess. Okay, I need a land in the top 2 draws of my deck, or else I am cooked. That's just it. And they have another Leyline hand. Hey, I'll keep that. We keep those. And I bottom the Inquisition because if they have a turn 1 Ragavan, then I can't really Inquisition it anyway, because it's Raucous Theater. Okay, they just played a Thundering Falls. That's fine. Bend a Godless Shrine. They're good on lands. I'm going to duress them. Leyline Binding, Leyline of the Guild Pact, Wrath of the Skies, Arid Mesa, Ragavan. Well, I need to take Leyline Binding and Wrath, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. Great. And hopefully these Ensnaring Bridges will buy me some time, assuming that I can find the 3rd land for them. They are fetching with their Arid Mesa right away for basic plains. Good on you, mate. And they're tapping 2. Are you going to dash Ragavan or just cast it normally? I think you should cast normally here. Yeah, they're casting normal. Mishra's Bauble was a pretty decent hit. That will at least help me find my land and stuff. I think I'm just going to take the Ragavan hit here. Oh, they bolted me. Yeah, that's fine. Just going to take the Ragavan hit, and then I'm going to Bauble and Shredder myself after that. Even if they hit a Thoughtseize, then it doesn't matter. They hit an Ensnaring Bridge. All right, I actually didn't want that. Yeah, let's go ahead and find that 3rd land. That is 3rd land. I'll take it. And that is an Inquisition. I don't need to fire that off right now. I'm just going to go ahead and fire this off instead. All right, they're fetching with Arid Mesa, presumably grabbing a Surveil land. Nope. Just Temple Garden. They do have a Leyline of the Guild Pact in... Jeez, sorry. They do have a Leyline of the Guild Pact in hand still. I'm falling to 9. That's not great. Hit a 4th Ensnaring Bridge. Wow, yeah, thanks. I don't really want that right now. I would gladly take a Fomori Vault. A Blood Moon is not particularly good. Ugh. Yeah, Ensnaring Bridge. Now I'm wishing that I'd sided out the Blood Moons for anything, really. They just have another Lightning Bolt. If my opponent draws a Flage, then I'm going to be in real trouble. They hit a Blackleaf Cliffs. I actually would have really liked that. Diana Draco was their rip. I can't really be worried about that. Pyxis of Pandemonium, huh? I'm not really going to be cutting them off of anything with Blood Moon, so I am going to Inquisition myself. I'm going to discard the Blood Moon, and then I'm just going to play Pyxis. And now it is just a matter of who draws their out first. If my opponent finds Flage, the game is over. If they find Lightning Bolt, then it's fine. If they find Flooded Strand, like they did this turn, it's fine. I don't think I'm going to mill myself with Shredder. As much as I kind of want to, I don't think I'm going to do it. Inquisition of Kozilek is fine to keep in hand. They don't have any 1-power attackers in this deck, really. Uh-oh. Blue, green. Blue, green. Oh, they're just hardcasting Leyline of the Guild Pact. Okay. Got nothing better to do. That's fine. Basic Swamp, huh? Yeah, the thing about Flage here is if they draw it, they can immediately cast and escape it. But it looks like they didn't find what they needed. Oh, Mishra's Bauble is actually a really good rip. Alright, I like that a lot. I think I am going to actually bauble myself. I don't want to hold the Inquisition still. Just do that on my, on their end step here. Still nothing, huh? If I can find a Lantern of Insight, this game is over. Bloodstained Mire, I don't want that. Go ahead and exile it. And you know what? I'm going to give in to the temptation here. I'm going to mill with Codex Shredder. It'll feel really bad if I mill a Lantern of Insight here, but, like, I can always rebuy it. Instead, I milled an Inquisition, which is great. Okay, draw number that one, and then another draw. Jeez. Yeah, I have to play out this Pyxis here. I don't want to crack the Bloodstained Mire, because that will put me dead to Lightning Bolt. Which we've already seen 2 of. Uh-oh, they're doing something else. They're cycling Indoth Triumph. Okay. And bolting me down to 1. And they're paying cost for something else. Is this just a Flage? Do you just have Flage? Yeah, they have Flage. All right. Well, that was a pretty good game. I didn't see Lantern in, like, a lot of turns. And, oh, well, there was my Lantern. Oh, my goodness, there was my Lantern. Okay. So I didn't see Lantern for a decent chunk of that game. I did my best to find it, and I didn't find it. And my opponent eventually just drew Lightning Bolt into Flage. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to match 4. I am on the draw, finally, in match 4 versus Long Craig. I can't keep this, right? This hand has double discard, but only 1 land. It's got Underworld Cookbook and Mishra's Bauble, but again, only 1 land, so I don't even have a choice as to whether I shuffle or not. I got a mulligan. Well, this is just the same hand, except worse. All right, we finally have a hand that we can keep. I am going to bottom the Blood Moon, probably. And honestly, the Lightning Bolt. And I'm just going to hope to lock out my opponent here. Urza Saga represents Lantern. Pyxis represents the Millrock to pair with it. Profane Tutor represents Ensnaring Bridge. Thoughtseize represents my entire life just getting wrecked. They took my Inquisition. That's really interesting. Hey, it's an Ensnaring Bridge. Love that for me. Now, do I play Pyxis here? Or do I try to Surveil into land number 3? I'm going to do the Surveil. I don't think I'm going to be making a construct with Urza Saga. They're Thoughtseize me again. All right, so they're going to see the Ensnaring Bridge now. The hero here has an Overlord of the Baelmerk avatar. Probably tells me what sort of deck they like to play. I intentionally kept the default Birds of Paradise avatar because I don't like giving out that sort of information. They took Pyxis, huh? Why did you take Pyxis? What are you doing? Raucous Theater. That's a Grafdigger's Cage. I don't think I want to skill shot my opponent. I don't think I'm going to do Grafdigger's Cage. Like, they could be on Esper Goryo's and just have a double Thoughtseize start. I don't know if I want to be, like, delaying my Profane Tutor and possibly missing a land drop for Grafdigger's Cage. The hero's probably just celebrating because I've been to Grafdigger's Cage off that Raucous Theater. I would love to keep it in the deck, trust me, but I just don't think I can responsibly do that. All right, here we go. I found a Thoughtseize, which is not the worst pickup I could have had. And now Profane Tutor is on the stack. Yeah, they got Undercity Sewers. They're like Dimir Tempo or something like that. They probably got some Murktides. They are just not afraid of Ensnaring Bridge in the slightest. That's why. Because they're not on Dimir Tempo. Alright, this is gonna suck. That's why they wanted to get rid of the Inquisition. They drew up to 4 cards up to 7. But do they just use Necrodominance as like a value engine of some sort? I don't have a way to remove that. Found a Pithing Needle. Is that even, like, any good? Like, is there anything I can Pithing Needle with this? Boggart Trawler, Fatal Push, March of Wretched Sorrow. Watery Grave. I'm gonna take the Shield Rid out of this hand. I need to drop this Pithing Needle. I'm gonna be losing Urza Saga here. That's gonna suck. I guess I named Psychic Frog. Like, if they just land that Shieldred, that's just game over. They're gonna draw a ton of cards. They've dropped a Watery Grave. Won't be seeing any cards off of their draw step right now. Boggart Trawler is going to hit play. They can draw up to 8 cards. Now, 8 cards is a lot of cards. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of cards. Oh, Profane Tutor's coming off the suspend here. That's really interesting. That's really interesting. Profane Tutor is coming off suspend. Oh, what do I want to do? I think I want to get cheeky. I think I'm going to grab Lightning Bolt. Just for fun, you know? Just for fun. Okay, well, Urza Saga is reaching its conclusion here. I'm going to be able to search my deck for a 1-drop. What 1-drop do I want? Do I want Mox Opal? I think I'm going to take Mox Opal. Because what I want to do here is I want to play Swamp, and I want to play Ensnaring Bridge. And then I want to hold open Mox Opal. And then I think I might be able to get them out with the cheese. Boggart Trawler's going to hit play. Gonna exile my graveyard, and I've got Ensnaring Bridge in play. I'm gonna make them pay their life. And they went down to 1. All right, here we go. Let's do it. Lightning Bolt targeting players, becoming relevant in a game of Lantern Control. Ah, yeah, no you don't. No, you don't. get bolted. Wow, that was a lot of fun. Finally taking a game 1 on the draw, I might add. Heads up play, grabbing that lightning bolt. So I guess this answers the debate on whether you play lightning bolt or galvanic discharge. You play bolt because sometimes your opponent just casts necro dominance and then pays like 10 life into it. That was fantastic. Yeah, I love that. Okay, let's begin sideboarding. Lightning bolts will stay in the deck. Curse totem's not good. Duress is good. Duress is good. I said Molten Collapse is good. I don't think Blood Moon is very good. My opponent's only playing like 2 colors, and it's mostly a mono black deck, if we're going to be real. Grafdigger's Cage might be useful. Pithing Needle might be useful. They might have something like a Tameo that I would have to worry about. The Underworld Cookbook actually might be useful if I get locked out by a Shieldred. And of course, I'm not siding out Lightning Bolt. Why would I do that? I think I might take out the Grafdigger's Cage. Yeah, I'm going to do it like that. I'm going to do it like this. Okay, this is a very good hand. I'm going to snap keep this. My opponent has also snap kept their hand. Swamp into Dreams of Steel and Oil. Yeah, you get to exile an artifact card from my hand. Although I think he would be mostly worried about this Inquisition. They took the Underworld Cookbook instead, though. I'm going to cast this Mox Opal. And I'm actually going to fetch all the way down to 17. And I'm going to Inquisition them. Boggart Trawler, Dalthy Voidwalker, Spell the Profane, Verdant Catacombs, Watery Grave. I mean, I'm taking your Dalthy Voidwalker here. Watery Grave has come down. And they top-decked a Psychic Frog. Well, that blows. Good thing I left a Pithing Needle or 2 in my deck, right? Ooh, double Urza Saga. I think I might be okay with this. So what do I do here? I can Urza Saga. So the question here is, do I suspend Profane Tutor this turn or not? If I suspend Profane Tutor this turn, then I am going to, next turn, create a construct. Mox Opal won't be turned on, but the turn after it, it will be. I think that's okay. I think that's okay. I'm going to suspend Profane Tutor. Because I don't need to get Pyxis down right now. I don't need Mox Opal turned on right now. I can turn it on turn 4, and that'll just be fine. They are doing the thing that they can do, and they are casting a Boggart Trawler. They're going to hit my graveyard. Discarding a Fel the Profane. Discarding a Dreams of Steel and Oil. And they're going to swing in with Forg. Hi, Forg. Love you, Forg. All right, they drew a card. Profane Tutor's going to come off suspend next turn. And I top-decked a Pyxis. So I could give up on making any constructs. I could play Pyxis, Profane Tutor right now. Next turn, I could grab Lantern Ensnaring Bridge. I think I'm going to do that. And then the turn after that, I can do some other stuff. All right, I have 4 tutors on suspend right now. That might be the most tutors I've ever had on suspend. Undercity Sewers is their land for turn. Thinning a polluted delta. Discarding Douthie Voidwalker. And I am taking 7 here. That is a decent chunk of damage. I think I just need to hope that they don't have a counterspell. This Profane Tutor is certainly going to be grabbing Ensnaring Bridge. And it will grab Ensnaring Bridge. Oh, and that's a Thoughtseize. That was a really good pickup. Love that for me. I'm going to go ahead and grab Lantern of Insight right now. All right, Boggart Trawler on top of their deck. Let's go ahead and tap this Mox Opal and Thoughtseize our opponent. They discarded their own Thoughtseize. I am going to lose 2 life here. Okay, well, get Ensnaring Bridged. And this game's over. This game is just straight up over. Wow, what an incredible game. Yeah, my opponent is F6ing here. They know. They know. Let's go ahead and grab Codex Shredder here. Oh, yeah, I'll take Basic Swamp. Don't even bother with the creature. Really nice deck from the opponent. It's too bad it didn't come together. And now we're going to begin the meditative process of slowly milling our opponent out. You may not have Necrodominance. That is way too many cards. How incredibly relaxing. The hero's got a sweet deck, I'm not gonna lie. This is a great deck. I like this deck a lot. It's just, you know. Oh, it's X damage, huh? I can get rid of it, it doesn't matter. Go ahead and get rid of that too. Alright. I figured it might have been like minus X or something, and that would have allowed them to turn Psychic Frog into an 0-1 and let it swing underneath Bridge. But that's not going to be a problem. Fortunately, my opponent cleaned out my graveyard, which means 1 fewer click for Codex Shredder. Well, 1 fewer click for Codex Shredder days are now over. That's unfortunate. I will destroy a creature. I will hit Org. Why not? I'm gonna go ahead and mill that. Oh, that's really interesting. Oh yeah, no, that actually makes sense because I had to do 2 clicks for that. I'm just so used to doing 2 clicks, you know? I will mill that. And you know what? I'm actually going to exile the Pyxis. I'm not going to go for high scores here. Douthie Voidwalker, I don't think I want them having. Thoughtseize is fine. No Rizzlers for you. I'm gonna hold that bolt. Am I gonna... Yeah, I'm just gonna hold it. I'm gonna bolt their face again. It's not gonna win the game this time, but it is gonna be funny. Ha 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 ha! See how funny that was? That was so funny. Let's just go ahead and cast this. I am going to blow up my own Mishra's Bauble so that I'm not tempted to pop it. Just really sending a message here, you know? No, you may not have Shieldred. Not gonna give you an out to this situation, are you kidding? Although if I do give them Shieldred, I'm at 5. No, I'd really rather they not have Shieldred. Alright, yeah, Bloodstained Mire's fine. Come on, Thoughtseize my Thoughtseize, you know you want to do it. And this will be their last draw for the game. Go ahead and exile that Shieldred. You may not have it. Polluted Delta's fine. Okay, and that was some incredibly riveting gameplay, showcasing the power of Lightning Bolt in the right hands, I suppose. I don't know if it's correct to play Lightning Bolt or not, in all seriousness, but it is really funny that I won a game because of Lightning Bolt, isn't it? And the hero, persevering until the bitter end, finally succumbed to the random bullshit that is Lantern Control with Lightning Bolt in it. On to match 5. Okay, it is the final match. I am playing for a positive record, which is something that I haven't said in a decent chunk of time. We are against a Daybreak account, 𝗟𝗡𝗩. I've never heard of 𝗟𝗡𝗩 before, but, you know, you should probably go check out their channel. I'm sure they have a bunch of cool stuff here. So, I am faced with this opening 7. This is definitely a turn 2 Blood Moon. I'm going to keep it and see how well that goes. The hero has decided to fetch a Overgrown Tomb with their Windswept Heath. Please don't Thoughtseize me, bro. All right, Delighted Halfling is not great for me. I could turbo out Blood Moon here. I don't think it's going to be that good. Oh wait, no, I couldn't even turbo out Blood Moon because Raucous Theater enters tapped. Oh man, that might have informed my mulligan decision had I noticed that. I think I'm priced into Blackcleave Cliff's Inquisition here. Agatha's Soul Cauldron, Malevolent Rumble, Beseiju, Overgrown Tomb, Verdant Catacombs. Next turn, they could do Malevolent Rumble into Agatha's Soul Cauldron and then just make Delighted Halfling into a dork. So I need to take something here. I could take Agatha's Soul Cauldron, hope that they whiff on Rumble, and if they don't, I can Thoughtseize them again. And then at some point, I need to Pithing Needle Beseiju. I think I'm going to do that. Just lining up the answers in your hand with the questions that they're asking in their hand. Just classic Thoughtseize gaming. They are firing off a Malevolent Rumble. They found a Yawgmoth, which is kind of terrifying. And they chose it. Played a Delighted Halfling as their land for turn. Overgrown Tomb is down. And that's an Ensnaring Bridge. I think I'm going to play out my Raucous Theater now. Do I want a second Ensnaring Bridge? I'm not convinced I do. I have such a full hand. But they also don't have many threats in hand right now. If I draw Ensnaring Bridge next turn and I don't have an active Mox Opal, which I won't, then it's going to really suck, and it's going to take me a long time to get stuff out of my hand. I gotta get rid of Ensnaring Bridge. I hate to say it, but it's just gotta happen. I am going to Thoughtseize them. I am going to take the Yawgmoth. And then next turn, I can drop Cookbook Needle Opal. Do something, maybe. The hero is swinging in for 2 here. And just straight up passing. Okay, Pithing Needle, get down first. Urza Saga was a huge rip. Alright, Beseiju is no longer a problem. Urza Saga gets to come down. And then Mox Opal can also come down, and Underworld Cookbook can come down. The hero is surveilling with Underground Mortuary here, and they kept on top. That's terrifying. The Delighted Halflings mean that they are not going to be able to get locked out by Blood Moon, because they can just make whatever colors they want. Although it's really only for legendary creatures, so I guess that's okay. Oh, they found a Green Sun Zenith for 3. Aw, man. Yep, there's Grist. I don't believe I am going to be casting Blood Moon this game, so I am going to discard it. And I'm going to crack the food immediately. There we go. That's another Blood Moon, huh? Well, that sucks. I need a mill rock of some sort. Could lay out Blood Moon. What would that do? That would allow me to have infinite creatures, more or less. I don't think I need that. I think I need the tempo. There's a decent chance that this Urza Saga just grabs a Pithing Needle for Grist, and then I just start killing them with the 2 constructs that I have. That is a Strangleroot Geist. That was the rip off the top this turn. I mean, I am going to just take this 5. I'm not going to try and eat a creature. Because Grist can just plus here. Yeah. Alright, here we go. And that is a Grafdigger's Cage. That's not nothing. I think I'm going to create the construct. And then I need to search my deck for something. Do I grab Lantern when I don't have Pyxis or Shredder? I think the answer to this is no. So Lantern, Shredder, Pyxis are off the table. I think it has to be Pithing Needle for Grist. That has to be answered at some point anyway. Okay, so now what? I can swing at them for 7. They're choosing to chump with a spawn. Okay, well, we're both drawing wild. I think they have better draws than I do. That's a better draw. Yep, that's a better draw. So they can just turn all their stuff into Yawgmoths. And I think they have this. I'm gonna go ahead and discard my Blood Moon in F6. Lantern would have allowed me to see the Agatha's Soul Cauldron. But I would have had to sacrifice the Lantern to do anything about it. Yep. I think they got this game. That sucks. But they just passed. I don't have Yawgmoth Pithing Needled. Huh. What do I want to do here? Do I just want to swing for lethal, make them have a chump block? That's just going to put a +1 counter on the Strangleroot Geist, though. I think they have me next turn regardless of what I do. I think I'm just wasting time here. I'm going to swing out with everything that I have. And then I'm going to die. But I want to get a little bit of information on what path they take here. And notably, like the Blood Moon interaction with Urza Saga would not have really helped here. So I don't think that was the path that I was supposed to take. I needed a lock. I could have found a Lantern of Insight and shuffled away their Agatha's Soul Cauldron, but that would have allowed Grist to take over, and the Grist would have just been unanswered. I think I was just one piece of material short in this game. Like, if I had a Millrock or a Lantern while I was searching for something out of Urza Saga, I would have grabbed the missing piece. But I didn't have that, so I didn't grab Lantern. Yeah, they're just chumping here. Are they going to activate Delighted Halfling again? Looks like they are. Okay. So they're going to take nothing. I am going to be at 12. I think I'm just dead. I think I'm just going to pass turn. And, oh, they're just going to gain infinite life on top of everything else that they can do? Yeah, sure. Mate, literally all you have to do is, yeah, exile the Walking Ballista to act the Soul Cauldron. Put the +1 counter on the Halfling. Yep, there we go. And I'm sure they've got some sort of infinite combo here, right? Thank goodness that didn't come back. Grafdigger's Cage actually being relevant. Grafdigger's Cage is good against their deck. It shuts down a decent chunk of their combo. Oh, wait. Grafdigger's Cage shuts down a decent chunk of their combo. Okay, so maybe we are doing something here. Maybe I haven't lost this game yet. Well, they've got a Badger Mole Cub now. There we go. Yep, they're tapping correctly here. Earthbending on tapped Underground Mortuary. Swinging in for 2 because they can. I don't think I'm gonna sacrifice the food, but I also think I'm not going to discard the Ensnaring Bridge. I think I'm just going to hold. Oh, Profane Tutor, huh? That could be good. That could be really good. I might have to reprioritize what I'm doing here. So I am effectively at 7 because of these creatures being Walking Ballistas, but they're also Yawgmoths, which really sucks. I don't think I have the luxury of waiting around. I think I have to just try and kill them before they can kill me. I am going to swing in with Constructs. They have to chump at least one of these, and it has to be this one. I might just swing in with that one then. Although if they don't block the 4/4, Oh, there we go. Yeah, if they don't block the 4/4, then they fall to too low of life here. And then I can use Profane Tutor to grab Lightning Bolt. That's very silly. That is very silly. Okay, well, they are at 5, but I'm at 10. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna need to crack a food token. The question here is, do I suspend Profane Tutor and then crack a food token to give myself enough life to survive the turn, or do I just slam Ensnaring Bridge? I think I'm gonna do Profane Tutor. I think 13 life is enough life. Proliferate? Dang it. 13 life wasn't enough life. Right, I forgot Yawgmoth had the discard a card proliferate. Okay, yeah, no, that's fair. I'm just dead now. I feel like they should have proliferated after doing the earthbending though, right? Oh wait, no, they could have just combo killed me from 13 or from 10 anyway if I had dropped the Ensnaring Bridge. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 if they had done that correctly. Yeah, this is gonna make it 9. Yeah, I would have been dead anyway. Proliferating again. Yep. Okay, well, we lost game 1 the first time we played against this deck, but ended up winning games 2 and 3. I'm just gonna go ahead and concede here. I've seen enough. Lost 10 minutes of my clock to not winning the game. Maybe if I had been a little bit more, I don't know, conceding earlier, I guess. But, like, that was just a really big back and forth game. Okay, Pithing Needles, Cursed Totems getting in the deck. Grafdigger's Cage is good. Blood Moon is what I sided out. Anything else I want to side out here? I think at one point I had decided I wanted to side out Lightning Bolts or Pyroclasms. I think that's still probably true. I'm going to keep everything else as is, though. Not going to side out any discard or Mishra's Baubles or anything like that. Just waiting for the sideboarding to finish. Geez, I'm really glad that I put the Cursed Totems in the deck. I had gone back and forth between Cursed Totems and Torpor Orbs, but I saw that Yawgmoth was kind of making a resurgence because of Badger Mole Club, and figured I may as well throw in some Cursed Totems. It helps against Brood Scale too. And it looks like I'm getting paid out. Or at least I was in the first match. We'll have to see if I can even you know, draw into them in match 2. Or match 5, I guess, is where we're at now. Jeez. Yeah, I did win the die roll because I lost horribly last game. What does this hand do? This hand does turn 1 Inquisition, turn 2 Inquisition, Codex Shredder Bauble, try to find a land or a lantern or something, turn 3 Ensnaring Bridge. I think that's good enough. Wait, what? I hit mulligan? Oh, I'm so silly. I am so incredibly silly. Well, this hand has a discard spell and Pyroclasm. I'm gonna bottom the Mox Opal. Okay, Blackleaf Cliffs, Inquisition you. Dredger's Insight, Green Sun Zenith, Malevolent Rumble, 3 lands, and Yawgmoth. I'm going to take the Rumble. They played Verdant Catacombs. They are not going to be firing off the Green Sun Zenith just for Dryad Arbor in this situation. I don't want Swamp. Go ahead and bin that. Inquisition you again. Adrimal Cub. That actually would be a really good Pyroclasm target. I'm going to take the Green Sun Zenith here. And I'm going to pass turn. The hero's going for an Underground Mortuary. They kept the card on top. That's kind of scary. Overgrown Tomb. Now, Badgermole Cub is going to come down. I will be able to reset this Underground Mortuary with this Pyroclasm, but it's not going to actually go away. Now, do I want to do this right now or not? I think I do. I think I just want to get it over with. Even if it resets the Underground Mortuary. And they knew that, which is why they put it on the Underground Mortuary instead of the Overgrown Tomb. I'm gonna go ahead and play this Tat. Not gonna pay the 2 life. And I think I will bobble them on their upkeep. And now I've successfully used a ton of cards and resources to not really do much to my opponent here. Dredger's Insight. Bymaster's Vault is down. They're gonna drop a Dredger's Insight. Yeah, I don't even have a Profane Tutor on Suspend or anything. I've got nothing going on right now. Wishing I had been able to keep the 7. But I hit mulligan instead of hitting keep. Like, this would have been a game where a quick lock and an ensnaring bridge would have been pretty decent. I didn't need all this discard. I'm going to draw a card here, and another card, and wow, I'm just flooding out. Yeah, I will flood out. And the hero will be able to cast Yawgmoth next turn. They're not going to have much going on besides Yawgmoth, but they're still going to have, you know, Yawgmoth, which is kind of scary. Dryad Arbor on top of the deck. They're playing Windswept Heath. They're fetching with Windswept Heath. This is definitely going to be a Yawgmoth, right? Yeah, here we go. Now, a Yawgmoth on its own is basically no trouble, but it will quickly get out of hand. So here's what I would love. I would love to top deck in this order. Curse Totem. This is going to be a Curse Totem right here. And then like a Grafdigger's Cage or something like that. Maybe an Ensnaring Bridge. Into Lantern, into Pyxis for the next 2 turns. Let's see what happens. Hey, that is a one of the things that I wanted, I guess. Do I even Pithing Needle Yawgmoth right now? Yeah, I'm gonna Pithing Needle Yawgmoth. It does so much for them. All right, and Underworld Cookbook is gonna start gaining me life. That was kind of Curse Totem into Ensnaring Bridge if you look at it funny, right? Okay, they got nothing else they're doing. That's good for me right now. I will discard this swamp, make a food token, and I'm just going to go ahead and crack that right away. That is a Lantern of Insight, actually. So, wow! Into Pyxis off the top. Grist to the Hunger Tide is going to be a problem, at least in the short term. All right, so I'm going to draw this Pyxis of Pandemonium. I don't think I need that Thoughtseize. I need to get rid of the Agatha Soul Cauldron. They just have too much stuff that they can do with it. Bymaster's Vaults. Played it as a land for turn. Milling the Beseiju. You know, I've had a decent series of... Oh, they have the Agatha Soul Cauldron in hand anyway. You know what? Never mind. I was going to say that I basically ripped exactly off the top what I wanted to rip. But now all of their creatures are Yawgmoth Thran Physician. And I am in deep doo-doo. Yeah, I'm in pretty deep trouble right now. So Pyxis is my rip for the turn. I have a Cursed Totem on top of the deck. Let's see if I can afford to keep it there. I might just need Ensnaring Bridge right away. They're discarding a card here. Yeah, they discarded the Yawgmoth. They're going to proliferate. I think I'm just dead. I think I'm just dead right here. Yeah, if they bin this Walking Ballista, then it just makes it so that they are winning the game faster. Geez, that stinks. I drew more or less exactly what I wanted in the order that I wanted, but this Pithing Needle was not Cursed Totem. This Underworld Cookbook was not Ensnaring Bridge, but I found Lantern Pyxis. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna fall to 7. Here we go. We're getting started. They're putting neg1 counters on nothing. They really want that walking ballista, and I fear they're going to get it. Yeah, here we go. Walking ballista, they've got it now. Dredger's Insight, they've got that. Malevolent Rumble, they've got that. And I die to a Grist activation. Well played, 𝗟𝗡𝗩𝗘. Well played. I had a really fun time playing that match. I got a little bit unlucky, just a little bit. Mostly it was my inability to keep the 7-card hand that I kind of wanted to keep. I think that kind of sucked. But you know what? My opponent played really well. They were patient with all of their things. They didn't fire off that Green Sun Zenith immediately. They knew what they needed to do, and they did it. So yeah, I'm not really mad about that. I had a good time. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm glad that I had a 2-3 record. That is one of the better records that I've had on the channel in a decent chunk of time, and I think that part of it is because I have been playing a lot of off-meta strategies, a lot of random BS, and it's nice to just finally be able to play something that I am familiar with, that I enjoy playing, that I know more or less how to play. I've had a couple of situations this league where the deck kind of stumbled on itself. I might have made a misplay or two here and there. I definitely misclicked at the end of round 5 in the game 2 where I was trying to keep the hand and I hit mulligan instead. It happens. But all in all, I had a really good time playing this. It's nice to finally do a return to form, and I think I'm going to continue playing with Lantern Control going forward. I don't know if I'm going to continue playing with Blood Moon specifically in every single league, but you know, I had a lot of fun here, so I think I might actually continue to give it a shot. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I appreciate it. I had over 130 people tune in to the stream at one point. I've got 10 people watching right now. Every single one of you, thank you very much for tuning in. It's nice that you know, people like watching me go 2-3 with Lantern Control. I will be playing more Lantern next week, so I have time in my schedule to do 2 streams a week at most, usually. So next week I am going to be doing 2 streams. 2 streams just like this. Probably both Lantern. Maybe not both with Blood Moon, but definitely both Lantern. So yeah, come back next week. I'll have more Lantern nonsense for you. Maybe we'll even be able to make a positive record, huh? That would be great. All right, take care, everybody. I appreciate y'all. I will see you next week.